Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game. With the red light on, I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.
Hi, I'm Jay Fallon. Thank you for listening to the Slippery Slope. A big shout out to Stacey for sending me this story a while ago. I had seen it come up, and at the time, I think there was a heap of other stuff going on. I hadn't taken a lot of notice of what was going on here. But a very interesting story. If you're not from Australia, I'll tell you we've got we've got what you call the Australian Broadcast Corporation. So it's a state-funded, tax-funded media outlet. So they take care of news broadcasting. They cover the whole of Australia, radio, television. They do anything from children's entertainment up to news. Once upon a time they were known for being straight down the line, not skewing to the left or the right. These days, I would say they are very hardcore left. Very hardcore left. Forget about anything. Even if Trump came out and did came out with the greatest policy, something that was good for absolutely everyone, left, right, no matter who you are, black, white, brindle. The ABC here in Australia, and this really gets me because it's got Trump getting elected is here nor there in a lot of ways for us, but it is important. But if he came out with the absolute best policy ever, that was good for all of mankind, the ABC in Australia would still put forward a narrative condemning Donald Trump. Orange man bad. Everything he does is bad. Joe Biden is good. I'm just saying all this so you get an idea of this is what the ABC tax-funded media corporation is like. So, like I said, big shout out to Stacey for sending me this story, and it's all about the drag queen story time rubbish. Okay, now this story came out in February. The ABC, the ABC, they were looking for children. This article that came out says the ABC is filming a drag storytime event for the 2024 Mardi Gras broadcast and is looking for children between ages 3 to 5 years to take part. The segment will be filmed at Rockdale Library on 22nd of Feb between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. If you and your tiny humans are interested in taking part, please email Jess. For one, okay, what? I find it hard to wrap my head around why you need to bring children into these kinds of events. I'll notice that when they're referring to children, they say if you and your tiny humans, your tiny, I think they want to refer to children as tiny humans because they don't want anyone to be thinking, oh, if you and your 3-year-old want to come and look at men that choose to dress in sexually provocative outfits like women. If you want to do that, bring your 3-year-old to that. But no, they refer to them as tiny humans. Anyway, so the story in Australia really blew up because a lot of people, and I'll say the narrative that the ABC push was that people on the far right, neo-Nazis, far right, they're all coming out with hate speech. I'll bring up these couple of articles that regarding the story and just see the narrative that they're pushing. And how we're all, if you disagree with the narrative that's being pushed on the left, with the drag queen story time and all this rubbish, you must be far right. You must be neo-Nazi. You're just bad, man. You're like the orange man in America. ABC statement. The ABC condemns the hateful and offensive response because if you don't support little children going to check out grown men dressed as women, you're the problem. ABC condemns the hateful and offensive response we have received from some individuals in response to the call out for this event. The event will no longer be held at the Rockdale Library, and the ABC is considering how we can safely host it. So it's not that, we've seen the error of our ways. Obviously, this is stupid to do. No, we just want to host it somewhere else. The ABC invited families from within the LGBT blah, blah, blah community to participate in a drag queen storytime event, which would be filmed as part of our Mardi Gras coverage. These events are designed for families and are regularly held in public spaces. Regularly held in public spaces. Now, look, just in case, this is photos that I found online of the 2019 Mardi Gras. Public spaces, family event, two guys here wearing, I don't know what that is, some kind of strappy thing around their chest. He's got a mask on. They're what would you say? They're good-looking individuals. And you think, oh, it's a bit of a weird outfit to wear in the street. Oh, here they are kissing. Love is love. Ugh. Yeah, and here we go. Mardi Gras 2019. Grown men wearing, I don't know what they're wearing, undies in the street, dancing. If you can see this, if you're watching this on the YouTube or, on Spotify, the video version, seriously, this is for children. This is what the ABC is. They're saying, hey, get your children involved in this stuff. Let's promote this. 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. There we go. This is Mardi Gras. This is what they're trying to. This is what they're trying to get children involved with. How's these fellas here again, dressed in? I don't know what the heck that is. Anyway, they're all naked, just naked. Yeah, it's awesome. This is 2019. How's these shirts here? On the shirt, these two blokes are wearing. We talk, we test, we treat, we care, we bang, we can. We bang, we can. Yeah. Bring your children along. Entertainment. This will really teach them. I don't know what that is. Girls. Yep. I'm not sure. Anyway. All the masks. Look at this fellow's wearing. I think it's some kind of dog mask. This fellow's covering his head. This fellow's covering his face. No one can wear. I don't know what the heck is up with the strap things that everyone's got on. It's not my jam, so I don't know what it's about really. This is I'm sorry. It's either a very unattractive woman or it's a dude dressed as a woman. I don't know what it is. There you go. Two women kissing. Anyway, back to it. So this is what the ABC is promoting. This is what they want. They say, hey, bring your kids along. Sorry, you tiny humans, because we don't want to remind people that these are 3-year-olds. Bring your tiny humans around. Get them involved in this kind of stuff. Next article I want to go to. This is how they justify everything. This was in TV Box. In a statement, the ABC expressed its intention to showcase the diversity of the LGBT blah 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 community through the event as part of its coverage of the Mardi Gras. Because, our state-funded media corporation, they have to be the ones that cover the Mardi Gras, for which it serves as the official broadcaster. The corporation emphasizes its commitment to reflecting the broad spectrum of Australian society in line with its charter obligations. However, following the dissemination of event details by fringe groups, the ABC faced a barrage of hateful and offensive reactions. Hateful. This led to the decision to cancel the event. In condemning the negative response, the ABC reaffirmed its dedication to inclusivity and the representation of all Australians. The representation of all Australians, except if you don't agree. If you agree with them, and if you go along with the LGBT blah 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 community, then you're inclusive. Then we'll agree. Then we can all get along. If you don't agree and you voice that opinion and you maybe point out that, hey, this isn't right, you shouldn't be trying to push the rainbow agenda onto young children, well, then you're hateful. You're disrespectful. This is hate speech. This is disgusting. Continuing on, It says the controversy surrounding the drag Storytime event is part of a larger pattern of opposition faced by similar LGBT blah 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 community events across Australia, with recent cancellations also occurring in Melbourne and Sydney. This backlash has often been fueled. I'll bring this up. I'm sorry. You got to see what they're saying here, because this is who they're blaming it on. If you don't agree, this backlash has often been fueled by neo-Nazi factions and far-right groups and some conservative political figures who have targeted these inclusive community gatherings. They're just inclusive community gatherings. Everyone should be able to get out in public, showing off their genitals, walking around near naked, and you should. It's only inclusive if you bring your 3-year-old to that event so they can see people walking around in near naked attire, walking around, showing off their bodies. That's the way you do it. Gyrating to music, sexually provocative. That is the way you are inclusive in this nation. I'm going to read to you. So, like I said, I'll show you some of those photos. That was from 2019. It just gets worse and worse. And they're probably photos that, that was just on Google search. So they're probably all the PG kind of photos. Heaven forbid if you actually took off the system that, filters all the bad photos, because I've seen there's others are getting around, and you see a lot more stuff on some of the others. I just want to remind you, this is what Jesus said. Okay, Jesus is talking to Nicodemus, John 3. This is the famous passage where Jesus is saying to Nicodemus, is explaining a few things about being born again, about being born in and Nicodemus saying, "What, can someone be born again?" And Jesus is explaining all this to him, and then Jesus says to him in verse 16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son," which is Jesus, "that whoever, as in anyone, whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life." No matter what you've done, no matter who you are, and I'm not looking at these people saying, "Hey, I'm above, better than them." I've been just as big a fool as any of these people. Okay, I mightn't have participated in the same sinful sin, but sin is sin. Love is love, they say, but sin is sin. Anyway, it goes on. So that whoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He who believes in him is not condemned, but he who does not believe is condemned already, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the condemnation, that the light has come into the world, and men loved darkness. When he says men here, it's saying mankind, men and women. Women, you don't get off. You don't get out of it. Men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. For everyone practicing evil hates the light and does not come to the light, lest his deeds be exposed. But he who does the truth comes to the light, that his deeds may be clearly seen, that they have been done in God. See that in verse 19? The condemnation, that the light has come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. This is the issue. This is the reason why organizations like the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, like this other media outlet that describes, like, everyone that says anything against it, neo-Nazis, far right, hate speech, because they do not want their filth, their sin, to come to light. They don't like their bad behavior being pointed out. They would rather sit in their darkness. They love the darkness. They don't want the light. They love the evil. They love their evil. They love their sin. They love their filth. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever, just because you love your filth now, that little tugging in your heart and you realize, man, this is not a good lifestyle. This is not the way to go. I need to change my ways. It is never too late. Never too late. Never too late. If God can save us, foolish clown like me, he can do it for anyone. But this is why the ABC classifies anyone who disagrees as a neo-Nazi, as a far right person, because they don't want their shortcomings, their sinful behavior, their sinful desires to be shown. They don't want a light to be shone on their own dirty behavior. That's my opinion, and that's what the Bible says. I'm Jay Fallon. Thank you for listening to The Slippery Slope.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher.